Hey guys, what's up? That is not the right microphone. I just wanted to make a quick video to show you my camera rig setup. Took me a lot of time, a lot of hours of research to figure out how to kind of get it set up and the equipment to use. And this is mine, yours might be different, but if you're going for something similar, maybe this will help you save time with having to do a ton of research and watch a million different videos. So let's just get into it. First of all, this is the Movi M5 that I have it set up on, and John Oswald, I know you're jealous. This is a high-end camera stabilizer. It's all carbon fiber based, and the learning curve is really short on this. You can pick it up out of the box and go and not have a lot of experience with camera stabilizers and get really smooth cinematic shots that look awesome. I've used glide cams a lot, and it really starts to wear on your arm because you're holding it with one arm, and it just gets really heavy after a while, especially if you're shooting like weddings or something that are kind of all-day events like I do. And it's hard to balance. It takes a lot of practice to get the right balance, and this thing is really easy to balance, and it just looks amazing, you know, out of the box. So I got the holiday bundle, which it came with a Pelican case fitted for the Movi, which is really, really nice. And it also came with this little beaut, this controller. This is a Spectrum controller that's specific, you know, to the Movi. And there's two different modes that the Movi has. One is majestic mode, which is just a single person operator, like I generally use it because I don't have, you know, a crew or anything like that. But you can also use it in dual operator mode. So you can have one person that's just, you know, following the talent or just, you know, following the shot. And the other person can just be worried about framing. So that's kind of a nice thing. But the second person does need another monitor. And you need an external monitor with the Movi anyways because you can't necessarily see, you know, behind the camera, in the camera's LCD, what is going on. But we'll get to that. So anyways, that came free with the holiday bundle, so I just got it. And it's a nice option to have for the future. So the camera that I have mounted in the Movi is a Sony A7s. And if you're into video, you know that the Sony A7s and like the Panasonic GH4 are kind of the two hottest DSLR cameras out right now. The GH4 shoots 4K internally, but the low light is not very good on it, probably even worse than the 5D Mark III. But the A7s is known as an amazing low light camera. And you can do research on other videos to see what the low light capabilities of it are. But it's for the price, it's like the best low light camera out there. There's no situation that I've ever come across that's too dark. You know, wedding receptions get really, really dark. And you can make it look like daytime. It's incredible. So anyways, with the A7s, I at first had a Metabones adapter, which allows you to put different kinds of lenses on the camera. And I had a Tamron 24-70, which is a really, really good lens. I loved it. But number one, it's heavy and the camera's small, and especially the rig is small. So you want to keep it, you know, you want to keep it light so you can kind of run and gun all day. So I ended up getting a native lens to the Sony Alpha series. And it's a 16-35. It's a wide angle lens, which is perfect for the Movi because you can kind of like, you know, get close if you're doing weddings or whatever. But the best thing is its continuous autofocus feature, which is enabled once you put on a native Sony lens. It wasn't available with my Tamron lens, but basically continuous autofocus is just kind of what it says. If I move closer or away from you, it will focus. It's not probably as fast as if you had like a follow focus. If you're doing real quick movements, but for me, like I'm a lot of times doing slow, kind of smooth movements, and it does a great job of keeping the subject in focus the entire time. So I really like that feature, and it's also great for the Movi because a lot of people that have a Movi use the Red Rock micro follow focus, which is awesome, but it's like another $1,600 or $1,700 just for a follow focus. Seems like a lot of money. So having that continuous autofocus feature in the A7s, and I know the GH4 also has that, is really good. Some people don't like it because they say it's not fast enough. You know, it takes a millisecond for it to find it, but it's a great alternative to having to spend another, you know, $1,600, $1,700 on a follow focus. So anyways, the A7s, awesome camera. Now, for the monitor that I have the Atomos Shogun. monitor. So the Shogun is a monitor, but it is also a 4K recorder. So the A7S camera does not shoot 4K internally, only externally. So you need a 4K recorder to be able to get 4K resolution out of the A7S, whereas the GH4 shoots 4K internally. So the best thing about the Shogun is it's a 7-inch monitor, but it's also a 4K recorder. So, you know, it's a little bit expensive at $2,000, but for me, definitely worth it. With the A7S, now I have 4K resolution, and I have a monitor, which I needed anyways with the Movi because I needed to be able to see my shot. So another thing that's awesome about the Shogun are all the features that it has. It's got zebras, focus assist, vector scope, just a ton of features built into it, so you can really, you know, nail your framing, nail your shot every single time. And it's just got all of those features that videographer nerds like myself love to use to make sure that you're nailing exposure, nailing focus, all that kind of stuff. So that is the Atomos Shogun. Just came out, so they're doing a lot of firmware updates, which is really nice because they're constantly improving the product. And it shoots to a solid state drive, which is on the back here, and then you can just plug it into a caddy that comes with the Shogun, and it plugs into your computer, and you have 4K files. So yeah, you need a computer that's kind of built to be able to handle that kind of workload, but it is awesome to be able to have that. So generally that's my setup. If you have any questions, just ask in the comments below, and thanks for watching.